In this video, we are going to create our first Hello World MCP server. For this purpose, first of all, you need to download the Claude Desktop, which will act as a host, and inside host, it will create clients automatically. If you have VS Code and you are using Windsurf or Cursor, then obviously you can follow their steps. But since we are going to stick with Claude, that's why we are going to need Claude Desktop. So select your operating system and then click that button, and it will download the installer. Once you have the installer, just double click, and it's a very regular installation process. After installing Claude, make sure to check everything works fine by opening the Claude app. So here, as you can see, it's a blank new app and I have nothing, and it's a beautiful Saturday. Once you have the Claude, in the step 2 you need UV. Now what is UV? UV is basically an alternative of pip, and it's a very fast package installer and resolver. So throughout this course, instead of sticking with pip, we are going to stick with UV. So let's first install UV. If you are using Mac OS and Linux, then click on this option. Otherwise, for us, since we are on Windows, we are going to use the PowerShell command. So copy this PowerShell command, open PowerShell, and make sure to open it as administrator and paste the command. After installing UV, we need to set the path for the UV in the environment variables. Type set path is equals to this path on which the system has installed the UV, and then colon followed by percentage path percentage. This is going to set the UV in the environment variables, but since I have already ran this command, that's why I do not need to set it again. After setting the path and installing UV, it's time to create a project. So let's close the PowerShell, go to your desired directory, and let's open the command prompt right here. Now we need to initialize a new project with the UV. So just type here UV to check whether everything is fine or not. Yeah, we got these helper commands. This means UV is successfully installed. Let's clear the window. Oops, it's CLS. And now let's write UV init and the project name. So it will be Tut_00. So our project has been initialized, and as you can see, we got a new folder and it has some files. Now we need to go into that folder, cd tut, and initialize a virtual environment by typing uvvenv, and let's activate the virtual environment by typing .venv scripts activate. So our virtual environment has been activated. Now first of all, we need to install the MCP CLI. So just type here uv add MCP CLI. So in pip, usually we write pip install, then the package name, but in UV we say UV add that package name and hit enter. So as you can see, it's quite fast and it has installed the MCP CLI. Now if you go to this folder tut_00, you can see we have the main.py file. So firstly, let me open this folder in VS Code. So just type here in the terminal code dot. So I hope that you have VS Code. If not, go to Visual Studio Code and download it. So now open this main.py file, and this is our dummy file which UV has created for us. Let's remove the content and let's create a very simple hello world server. Firstly, import the fast MCP server, then create an instance of this server. Name your server, I'll call it hello world. And now let's add tools inside this server. So maybe I'll add an addition tool. So our first tool is ready. Just decorate this function with mcp.tool. This decorator will tell the client it's a tool. And again, make sure to put this description. I have just put a single line, but it is recommended that you should put a very detailed description for this function, because this description tells the client when to use this particular tool. Now let's create another tool which will perform subtraction. Again, I'll follow the same pattern, and the copilot is kind enough that he has suggested me this code. So with these two functions, our first hello world MCP server is ready. Now save the file, and it's time to test it. For this purpose, we need to install, or you can say we need to configure our Claude Desktop so that it can use this server. For this purpose, again, open the cmd prompt and make sure you are in the same directory, and type here mcp install man.py. So make sure to put here your file name, since in my case it's man.py, that's why I'm putting here man.py. But the very common practice which you will find on the web is that people name this man.py to server.py. So if you have renamed that man.py to server.py, then make sure to put here server.py. So our hello world is successfully added to Claude config. Now if you close this Claude from your icons tray and again open it, and here as you can see, we got two tools. So if you click on these two tools, we have an addition tool and a subtraction tool. And if you go to file and settings, under developer settings, you will find this hello which is running. So this is our MCP server, and if you click on this edit config and open this config, uh, these are the commands which the MCP install man.py has added to this Claude Desktop config. So in order to run our man.py, the Claude Desktop app needs this uv command followed by these arguments and then the file path. So this is how the MCP hello world works. Now let's test our tools. So I'll give a very dummy prompt. We have underscore, then we have point. So let's test, and I hope this will work. So it is going to ask whether you want to allow me to use this tool. Yes, use this tool. And yes, use this as well. And here as you can see, we got the result. But since in our man.py we have defined that a and b should be int and the output should be int as well, that's why Claude was intelligent enough that it has automatically rounded our floating values. Now if I change these data types from int to float and save my Python file, again let me just copy this prompt, copy it, close the Claude, make sure to close it from the icons tray, and again reopen the Claude. Give the same prompt. Now it is not going to round those numbers. And as you can see, we got the final answer in points, and it has not rounded any of these numbers. So I hope you have understood how you can create your own first MCP hello world server. And in the next video we are going to jump into a bit more complex servers, and I'll show you how you can use external Python libraries with it, and I'll see you there. Bye bye.